Thank you. Disaster relief for the city of El Dorado today.
It comes after what we saw on Tuesday. Multiple agencies are coming together to bring resources to those impacted. Gabriela Hernandez shows us how those efforts are helping the community.
It's a blessing. It's truly a blessing.
When flash floods ripped through El Dorado Tuesday, many people who live there were evacuated from their homes.
That was scary when they knocked on the door and said, hey, you got to evacuate your apartment.
Now efforts are underway to help displaced people who live there get the resources they need.
One of those ways is by utilizing this 53-foot-long semi, once filled with thousands of items for El Dorado residents.
There's 26 total pallets, anywhere from 40 to 50,000 pounds of product. And again, that covers hygiene, food, cleaning supplies, bottled water, just to serve basic needs at this time.
Multiple agencies like Convoy of Hope, Red Cross, Salvation Army, as well as people from the community joining forces. It's something Pastor Matt Schaffner says makes the biggest impact in times of disaster.
Especially right after any kind of disaster, flooding, tornado, whatever it is, you don't think about the things we use every day. Deodorant, a washcloth, toothbrush and toothpaste. As the pastor at our church, my belief is pretty simple. Jesus called us to love people however we could, no matter what. This is a simple way for us to do it.
Anybody says that they can't get some help, there's help. You just got to get up out of bed and go. It's very thankful. God blesses everybody, and you have to be thankful for what you have.
In El Dorado, Gabriela Hernandez, 12 News.
The Red Cross estimates 75 homes in El Dorado have damage, but damage assessments are still ongoing. If you need assistance after a disaster, please call 1-800-RED-CROSS at 733-2767.